Hi everyone, it's Caitlin from Really Big Plant, and for today's video, we are going to be doing an unboxing of my annual subscription box from Hirt's Gardens. This is going to be the 8th box for me that I have received. When I first started doing these unboxings, I was kind of unsure about it and the whole idea of having a subscription box, but actually, as I've been doing these month by month, I've really been enjoying this process. So I'm kind of sad that this is going to be coming to an end soon, and I'm definitely shopping around for some other subscription services to look into. So if you have any suggestions for me for what subscription service I should try next, whether it's a single month or maybe even an annual or several month-long subscription, I would love to hear your suggestions. So please leave a comment down below because I am actively looking for another subscription box. So this box is from Hirt's Gardens, Hirt's Box Botany, and this subscription service is meant to include a 6-inch plant or sometimes a 4-inch and a 2-inch plant. And originally they were sending them with pots, but it's been many months since I've received a pot with any of these orders. So to be fair, they do say that it will occasionally come with extras like a pot. So it wasn't something that was guaranteed. So I know that if you've been watching these past videos, I've been complaining about the lack of pot, but Hirt's never actually promised that there would be a pot. So just thought I would make that clear. And that being said, I can tell from the weight of this box that there is almost certainly not a pot in here. So spoiler alert. Let's just get into it. All right, looks like we got another 2-plant combo. I'll start with the bigger one. Oh, it's wet in this box. This is the first time it's ever been like this, but all this tissue paper is like very moist. So just thought I would note that. It's wet. Ruh-roh. Okay, so this is a Croton. I think people call them Crotons, but that sounds kind of funny to me, so I always say Croton, but like everyone I've ever heard talk about these plants calls them Crotons, so maybe that's more correct. Let me know if you know or what you call it, but I call them Crotons. But then sometimes I say Croton and I feel like it sounds really weird. Anyway, this is a Croton. I can't remember which kind it's called. It's the Croton Mammy. Okay. I don't know much about Crotons. I don't have any of them. The only thing that I know about this plant is that they are supposedly spider mite magnet disasters. I think they kind of are another plant that likes to grow like outdoors in Florida with very high humidity and bright light. And if they're not getting really bright light and really high humidity, they tend to have spider mite issues. So I have always stayed away from these plants. Personally, I'm a little bit worried, not gonna lie. I'm gonna take it out of here, take the saran wrap off because the plant is really wet. It's like very muddy, which also is scary to me because that means it's not regular potting soil because, you know, like indoor potting soil doesn't turn into mud. I don't really know how I feel about that. But I do really like these little plastic pots with the hook. Okay, well, I'll probably give this a try. I mean, it's all wet, so it probably doesn't have, you know, active spider mites on it right now. A lot of times if a plant is suffering from being too wet after shipping and they have that instant rot, when you pull on the leaves like this, they just kind of fall apart. But this seems like it's staying intact for now. They are known for their orange and red fire color foliage. There's lots of different types of Crotons, and I actually do think that they look pretty. I've just heard a lot of people say that they tend to not do well indoors. Here we have it. Just put that down and move on to the next one. Okay, so this one is all wet too, but I kind of think it might have been wet from the other plant. I can't tell which way is up. Oh, this is unacceptable. Oh, super wet air plant. This is like not a happy air plant. These leaves are like very wet. Like it shouldn't just do this. You see that? It's this. Okay, I'm probably gonna contact Hirt's and ask them to send another one of these. This plant is probably gonna die. I mean, actually, you know what? I thought it was gonna be really squishy when I squeezed this, but it's not as squishy as I thought it would be. So maybe it's not as bad as I thought at first. I'm gonna let this sit out today and I've got to go to work soon, and I'm gonna come back later and take a look at this plant and see how it's doing. I mean, I think this is kind of cute. If it lives, it's gonna be okay. But if it seems like it's rapidly declining within the next few days, I'm definitely going to contact Hirt and ask them to send another one. Hey guys, it's Editing Caitlin a few days later, and I'm just here to say that I totally overreacted. The air plant came wet. It's not super healthy, but I just wanted to let you know that I am not going to ask for a replacement, because I do think that this plant is okay. I let it sit out, get some bright light, and the leaves that were super wet, some of them kind of aren't super happy, but I do think that this plant is gonna live, and I don't really think that it would be right to ask them to send me a new one, because this plant's alive, and for the most part, it's okay. So this is a Xerographica, an air plant, a Tillandsia, and I have been recently getting a lot more into air plants, and I do really like them. So I can tell you a little bit about this. There are two types of air plants. There's xeric and mesic air plants, and they actually are from totally different types of environments. So this type, a xeric air plant, actually prefers to not be soaked really. They don't necessarily need that much water. They really prefer just a higher humidity environment. And so the xeric air plants are the ones that have kind of like the little white sort of fuzziness, or like a white powder coating on them, whereas the mesic air plants are the ones that are like a more solid green. And those plants do prefer to be soaked more often and can handle slightly lower light conditions, whereas the xeric ones want bright light and really not a lot of water. The other thing I wanted to say is this little Croton, you know, it's not that bad. I didn't see myself ever buying a little Croton like this, but now that I have it, you know, I'm not super mad about it. I'm gonna care for it and see how it goes. I'm gonna keep an eye on it for spider mites. Who knows, maybe this Croton will become my new favorite plant. You never know. Let me know what you think about these. Do you like Crotons? Do you have experience caring for these? Do you have issues with spider mites or not? I would love to know, because I care for a lot of calatheas, and people always say that they have problems with spider mites, but I tend to not have too many issues with that. So who knows? Maybe this plant just gets a bad rap. Thank you so much for watching. To the people who have been liking and subscribing to my videos, I just want to say thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye. You want a treat? Come here. Bribing my dog to be part of the video. My dog didn't like these ones either.